Yeah, I'm a full-time single dad when I'm with them. I change diapers, feed them, cook, take them to school, do everything that a parent would. And I'm a family man, so everything I'm terrible at receiving. I'm not like I don't like gifts, don't do anything like that for me. But I'm always giving to others, and for me, it's my kids now.
Let's talk about your family. How did they feel when you came home with a Nigerian woman? How did your family react? Did they support?
They were very supportive. So very supportive. Did the best to just make everyone feel at home and loved and supported. So, I mean, I would say that they were a little surprised, but they were very supportive, very loving.
And your in-laws back in Nigeria, were they as supportive? Were they as loving?
I mean, absolutely right up into the minute that I wasn't an in-law anymore, and then they turned into crazy people.
Welcome to King Esther, the Time Square Billboard Explorer.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing? I'm doing perfectly fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just hanging out at home, getting some work done. How about yourself?
I'm fine. I'm out of town. I'm just chilling. Lovely to have you. Wow, we've got quite a bit of an audience here. Yes, they were
Yeah,
waiting
you
for the
do.
audio. So,
Crushing it.
um, Justin Dean, Dr. Justin Dean is Cora's ex, if I can sneak that in real quick. So anyway, Dr. Justin, for those of us who don't know about you, which I don't believe are more than one or two out of the 1,200 watching here, tell us a little bit about yourself. And by the way, we have about 421 people watching on Facebook too. I know you're quite big on Facebook. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a doctor of chiropractic. So for those of you who don't know, that's a joint specialist. I'm a primary care physician. I do not need a referral from another doctor to see patients. I can diagnose anything, order x-rays. In certain states, I can draw blood, deliver babies, do pap smears, that kind of thing. So it's a very much like a triage profession, mainly dealing with pain. I formerly worked in China. I was working at the Olympic Training Center there, which is how I got involved with all you Nigerian folks. And now I live in LA, working with primarily athletes, celebrities, that kind of thing here in LA. And I'm a father of
Talking
two
about
children.
Nigeria. Talking about Nigeria. When was the last time you were here in Nigeria?
The last time I was in Nigeria was in December of 2019.
Oh wow, that's about 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Four years exactly.
after the pandemic, I never made it back.
Um, let's talk about you.
Sure.
Do you think you can be in another relationship with a Nigerian?
Possibly. I mean, my preference these days is I am primarily attracted to black women, so it doesn't have to be Nigerian. I want my two daughters, June and Athena, to be still intact to the Nigerian culture, still have a association with it. I'll definitely bring my daughters back to Nigeria in the future. One of my best friends, Koch, is a Nigerian, and so I'll probably go back with him. So yeah, I would consider being with another Nigerian. I'm not opposed to it at all. I've learned kind of the differences between the tribes a little bit and their mentality, but it's an open option. It's not exactly like I'm looking for that, but it's a possibility.
Mm. Let's talk about your kids. When last did you see them? Do you see them often? Are you a part of their lives?
Oh yeah. I'm a very involved father. I have them for a week on, so I have 50-50, so basically 1 week with me and 1 week not. And so yeah, I'm a full-time single dad when I'm with them. I change diapers, feed them, cook, take them to school, do everything that a parent would, which exactly wasn't the plan, but here I am. The legal system, it's all set up primarily for women, and men are kind of looked at as, and men in general are considered guilty until proven innocent. and the system is highly favored towards women. And you know, in certain circumstances, that's exactly the right call. In other instances, really good fathers, in some states, women just get automatic full custody of the kids, no questions asked. In states where I live, it's much more. There's a lot more men's rights, so it's a lot different. I had to fight really hard to be part of my kid's life.
Mm. Oh wow! Oh wow! If you went through a divorce, how much do you think it would cost you? Would it cost you half of what you own?
Well, generally speaking, it's you divide up 50% of the marital assets. So if the woman's the primary breadwinner, she's going to pay the man, or vice versa. So it depends if you own a house and that kind of stuff. So it's a little like when it comes to finances, that's pretty fair and split 50-50. But when it comes to kids, it's highly incentivized towards the mother.
Towards women.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
it does create a bit like there, especially here in LA. I mean, I have a lot of rich single male friends, and they have to really vet women because there's a lot that are just looking to get married, be married for like 3 years or so, and then get divorced and take half of that dude's money. So a lot of them sign prenups and that kind of stuff. But you know,
But do prenups work?
It depends. It depends. They don't always hold up in court, especially here in California. There are ways around it, so you have to have a real strong one. And if I ever get married, there's going to be a prenup involved for sure. I don't eat the snail, the big ass snails you guys have. What's that called?
Yeah, snails. You don't like it?
It reminds me of high school when I got extra credit for eating an earthworm. Pretty much tastes the same. So
Yeah.
Not,
How do you eat an earthworm?
well, it's alive and it's wiggling, and you put it in your mouth and chew it up and eat it. Tastes exactly the same as the snails. Yeah, that's something you do in high school biology class here. It's not mandatory; it's extra credit. So
How do they make? But why do they make kids eat earthworms?
They don't make you. It's just an option.
And if you did, you get extra credit.
Yeah.
Couldn't you get anthrax from earthworms or
I don't know.
coli?
Maybe I was 16. Obviously, I'm sure it was safe if they let us do it. But you know, I'm.
Did you throw up on how did it go? You took it down with a beer or?
I mean, I was 16, no beer, but just ate it. I wouldn't say it was like I didn't throw up or anything, but it definitely wasn't a pleasurable experience.
Let's talk about Nigerian music. What is your take?
Love Nigerian music. So the two music genres that I listen to the most are Afrobeats and country music. I got a nice little country music's how I was raised. Afrobeats is something I became to love. So I like Davido, Wizkid, Thames. I like it. I like Nigerian music, and one of my best friends is in the music industry as well.
Who's that? Okay, not someone popular.
He's not a singer, not anybody would know, but the people that in the know who he is. But he's a very private person, so I won't mention his name.
Okay, please don't mention his name. Let's not get into trouble. So let's talk about you in the U.S. as a single dad. How has it been for you?
It's fine. I like it. It's easy. I mean, it's it's easier than the alternative. It's been fine. I actually thought that maybe it would make dating harder, but now it's like girls like a single dad. Shows you're responsible and family oriented, because a lot of guys here are not, especially in LA. A lot of guys here are like just not trying to have families. They're just trying to like play around, date around, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I love it, honestly. I love being a dad. It's the most important part of my life. It means everything to me, really. So everything I do is for my kids. So I work hard for them, and And I'm a family man, so everything I'm terrible at receiving. I'm not like I don't like gifts, don't do anything like that for me. But I'm always giving to others, and for me, it's my kids now.
Let's talk about the current Japa trend. I don't know if you heard about what Japa is.
I have no idea. I'm not on social media like that. I tune
Let me
in.
explain it to you. It is Nigerian guys and girls, young people in general, trying to run away from Nigeria, run away to the UK, the US, Europe, Canada. And one of the easiest routes is by getting married to a foreigner.
Well, as I've said publicly a few times, I would never immigrate anyone here again. The motivation for deceit and misleading me, the Caucasian white doctor, is just too high. So for myself, I wouldn't do that. It's a pain in the ass. It's a lot of money, and it's a high risk situation. So,
Mm.
so like the men in America that would probably be interested in that is kind of like your 50 to 60-year-old, like out of shape, doesn't have that many options here. Um, and that's the kind of people that are generally be interested in. If you watch 90 Day Fiance, that's primarily most of the men that are on that show, or just guys that don't have options here.
Hold you on for a bit. A lot of people don't like the fact that I'm talking about Japa. I have no problem with Japa. I have no problem with you leaving Nigeria and going to see greener pastures. And I just wanted to sound him out on that because I can see people are getting a bit upset. I'm just asking. So if,
Well,
uh,
I
a lot of
I,
people don't understand the question, so I wanted to put the question through properly.
I understand the motivation because there's opportunities here, maybe in the UK, that maybe some of them don't have in Nigeria, and I totally feel for them. But I would think that it's probably not going to end the way that they want. It's not going to make them happy. But in some instances, I mean, I see the motivation. I really do. I mean, I've been to Nigeria. I've been to several villages. I've been to Delta. I've been to many states. I've drove across Nigeria where we played, hide the Weibo at every police checkpoint so they didn't see me. So I mean, I've seen a lot of the country. So I really understand the desire for some people to go to greener pastures. It's just doing it from an unethical or misleading motive it's concerning for American males, for sure.
All right, a lot of people are complaining about the topic. Japa seems to be a bit of a sore spot for people. So, guys, let's move on. Let's. I can see you guys tearing up in the comment section, and you're coming for us. So we're gonna let that slide, and let's move on to other things.
I get a lot of hate from Nigerians because of various lies being said about me, and a lot of times they'll like say hate to me based on using God's name to justify their opinion. And I find that very disrespectful to God because they're using God's name in vain, essentially, to justify their opinion.
Let's talk about your family. How did they feel when you came home with a Nigerian woman? How did your family react? Did they support you? Did they think it was a great idea, or did they think it was not such a good idea?
Well, my family knows that my life goes to the beat of my own drum. I make my own decisions. I'm generally make very sound, logical decisions. So they were a bit surprised. It wasn't what they expected, nor I. But they were very supportive. So very supportive, did the best to just make everyone feel at home and loved and supported. So, I mean, I would say that they were a little surprised, but they were very supportive, very loving.
And your in-laws back in Nigeria, were they as supportive? Were they as loving?
I mean, absolutely right up into the minute that I wasn't an in-law anymore, and then they turned into crazy people.
Hmm. Okay, let's not go any deeper. Let's just hover it around here so we don't get into any kind of troubles. Anything you want to talk about? Because I'm done asking the questions.
Yeah, I mean, I, you know, tell me a little bit about yourself because I just started running through your page, and so I want to get to know you a little bit more. And I know we talked about like let's do an interview and let's have a little chat. And I'm always down for intellectual conversations and pushing.
I'm also divorced.
Okay.
And I also went through, I've not seen my kids in a long time, like 7 years.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm sorry. That's crushing. I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah.
I don't,
So
I don't, I don't know how you do it, man. I would not function without my kids.
I have no choice. I have to function and I have to function well because if I don't function, some women, when they leave you, the plan is to destroy you.
I know that well.
Uh-huh. So if you allow yourself to be destroyed, you're going to end up destroyed. But it's all love. I've moved on. I'm in a better place. I'm in a much better relationship. The only problem in my life is I have no access to my kids, and that I find particularly disturbing. But I've coped for the last 7 years, and I believe I'd continue to cope. So
Is that a product of like the Nigerian legal system, or is that
the
allowed,
Nigerian legal system
or
is,
is that where your kids are in Nigeria?
I don't know where they are. I think they're abroad, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, that sucks, man. I'm sorry. Really, truly.
Yes, I think they're abroad. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. And it it's tough, but I also try not to talk about it too much, even though I find myself talking about it every now and then.
Obviously, if I get in another relationship, it's probably assumed that the woman would want her own child, at least one, right? So I'm very much open to it. I don't intend on being a single dad forever. I tend to be very selective. I am dating currently, but it's definitely an option. I mean, here in LA is very expensive, so there's financial considerations as well because kids are expensive. So you need to make sure that you can do it right.
That's all from my side. I wouldn't want to bring people in to ask questions because,
You're gonna get some crazy stuff.
oh yeah, it's gonna get wild. They're gonna
Yeah,
wild
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But you know what? You guys can ask questions in the comment section. Any question for Dr. Justin Dean? Any nice, polite question that's not going to start an internet war, please?
And there's no need for this internet war stuff. Um,
Mm.
you know, People assume that I'm fighting or doing something. I'm not doing anything. I'm just like trying to raise my kids in peace. That's a common misconception.
King Esther, the Explorer. See you in my next video.